So Reverend Jeremiah is out of the pulpit this morning, so Kikanza jumped at the chance to step in, and she said, hey, let's just do a repeat of last week. So for those of you who weren't here last week, we're just doing an encore rerun presentation. If you were here, go out and make some lunches. Not just playing. We have totally new material for you. Okay. Have you ever been whitewater rafting or kayaking on serene waters? The process of finding you and where you fit in can be like whitewater rafting on Class 5 river. Lengthy, twisted, tumultuous, crashing into rocks, getting turned around, and dumped out. Some people have easy flowing rivers on kayaks with a serene flow of water. Beautiful scenery, time for picnics, time to take selfies. And if you've never been on any water besides that, it can be really hard, if not impossible, to understand what it's like to be on a Class 5 river. It can be difficult to feel your inherent worth and dignity when you don't fit in, especially when you don't know exactly why you don't fit in. At first, it's kind of like a Class 1 with minimal obstructions, where you don't like to wear pink frilly clothing, or there are some family secrets, but you don't really know a lot about that. You don't have the words or the concepts. Next thing you know, other kids or people have noticed that you're different, and you've skipped Class 2 and gone straight to Class 3 rapids, with others excluding you, teasing, or bullying you. At this point, you're beginning to understand the words, but the whole thing still doesn't make a lot of sense to you. Now, you find yourself in Class 4 waters, trying to fit in, wearing the clothes that you think others would approve of, dating someone to try to hush the bullies. When you finally come to that place where you can no longer live with yourself, you've hit the Class 5 waters. You aren't even paddling. You are hanging on for dear life and out of sheer terror. You've told your mom in 6 words, I don't want pink flowered china. You've been dumped overboard, and you are having a hard time finding out which way to swim towards the surface. In finding yourself and your place in the world, you have made it here. I hope that you find that you fit in here, and that you find people that will hold out an oar and pull you back up into the boat. Come, let us worship together.
My family is filled with men, and most of my family's on the East Coast, so I was awakened this morning with the ping, ping, ping of the group text messages as everyone wishes one another Father's Day. And so you're on the group message, it's Father's Day, so you have to respond. I send a Bitmoji. They think I'm cool. Father's Day gets a short shrift. Everybody's involved with Mother's Day. The vendors are out on the street corners selling flowers and balloons and stuff, and people just don't make such a big deal about Father's Day, which is interesting to me. I know why I don't. You probably have your own story, but it occurred to me just as mothering is something that all of us do, or many of us do, for many reasons, for many people, whether we are related to them or not. Fathering is something that folks do as well. And we can think of the traditional things that fathers do, like teaching you to drive and how to throw a ball, and I don't know, that other stuff, drink beer. Oh, shave, yeah. But
Tie.
But we shave more than men do, don't we? Tie a tie. So, this morning, we are pausing to remember fathers. We're pausing to acknowledge that fathering is important. And we're pausing for you to reflect on the fathering that you got, that you didn't get, that you wish you had, that you give. Happy Father's Day.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes our sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes our sun, and I say it's alright. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Wah, 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 wah. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 sun.
Here we
Sun, 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 sun. Here we come. Dun, 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 dun.
Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. It's alright. It's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
the sun.
Sun, 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 sun. Sun, 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 sun. Here comes the sun. Sun.
Ooh, I really felt that. Keon, I noticed you were a little concerned about the flame when you came up here, as you all should be, because sometimes you all getting really close, but just know I have your back. I'm watching that flame for you. Got a fire extinguisher over here, ready to tackle you. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church of Santa Monica. I am Cassie Winters. I am your worship associate again this morning. We are delighted to have all of you present here with us, wherever you are, here in the sanctuary, in our online sanctuary from communities across the LA Basin, and from around the United States and beyond. We are glad you're here. If you are new to our community, you can find many ways to learn more about our community and become involved on our website. Please know that while we are still in the process of reopening for larger events, we are here for services in person, doing some things a little differently, like coffee. Also, still holding many meetings in small groups online. We offer programs to serve the needs of our congregation and to serve the larger world, including broad religious exploration, personal development for people of all ages. We also join with other social justice advocates to work for justice and harmony in our world. Unitarian Universalism is not defined by creed or dogma, but guided by the principles that affirm the worth and dignity of every person. They also encourage an individual search for truth and meaning. We honor the wonder of existence and believe that we were all connected to each other and to the interdependent web of life. Our beliefs are drawn from scripture and science, nature and philosophy, personal experience, and ancient tradition. We are an open, affirming, welcoming congregation, diverse in backgrounds, identities, spiritualities, and philosophies of life. We are united in our desire to create an inclusive, beloved community, to live the principles of our faith, and to serve the wider world. Whatever your beliefs or faith tradition, we invite you to help us build a community together where in our diversity we can covenant in love and justice. May you find comfort, camaraderie, and inspiration here. An important step on that journey of welcoming and justice is our land acknowledgement, specifically the correcting of stories and practices that erase Indigenous peoples' history and culture towards inviting and honoring the truth. We acknowledge that our church and the homes of most of our members are on traditional, and that our church and the homes of most of our members are on traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of the Tongva, Chumash, and Kizh people, who continue to live here and who have cared for this land for thousands of years, even after this land was stolen from them by colonial settlers. We recognize and mourn the often deadly harm inflicted on Indigenous people of this country. We lift up their grace, resilience, and protective interdependent relationship with these sacred lands. Announcements. We are ready for Dining for Dollars again. Remember, all the enjoyable community and company, the entertaining and edifying conversations, and the lovely diversity of food prepared by our fellow congregants in the spirit of community. Please volunteer now to host. Responses to the survey show that most people are interested in attending events mostly outside for the sake of COVID safety. Offers and goods of service are also welcome. Let's have some fun. Email dining4 at uusm.org if you'd like to give an idea of what you'd like to provide. Our Dining for Dollars choir auction has been extended to the end of June, so everyone has a chance to bid on the lovely items that they've provided. If you have watched from the pews or from your room and you've thought, I could do that, now is the time to let us know. Give Kikanza Nuri-Robins or Sue Bickford a call and send us a note if you are interested in becoming a worship associate. We would love to have you join our team. Next week, super important, pay attention. We will be live streaming the service from GA. That's at 9:30. You're usually here at 10:30. Be here at 9:15 to get a seat and see the service. I mean, you could watch it from home, but where's the community in that, right? The Reverend, the UUA President, Reverend Susan Frederick Gray, is pleased to announce that Reverend Gretchen Haley, Senior Minister of Foothills UU Church of Fort Collins, Colorado, will lead the Sunday service at GA in Portland, Oregon. Additional worship team members include Reverend Sean Neal Barron and Reverend Sherry Halliday Kwan. The GA Choir, a talented group of singers rehearsing daily during the conference, will enhance and impact the impact of the service. This powerful communal worship experience will stream live so we can gather in spirit with UUs across the continent. What time is that? 9:30. Nice. Join UUSM in welcoming the artwork of Joyce Lieberman, which will be on display, is already on display in Forbes Hall from June 19th through the month of July. She is known for her upbeat, unstill life paintings and her personal archaeology series of collages sold throughout the United States. Lunches for Bunches needs you. Please help replenish UUSM's Hunger Fund. With your one-time or ongoing donation, you can help feed 55-plus homeless neighbors each week who visit the People Concerns across Access Center for medical support, hygiene, mental health, substance use services, and more. Please, this is also very important, please also join us under the shade structure Sundays after services to help assemble the Lunches for Bunches. This work goes much faster when we have many hands and hearts working together. We don't want to have anybody stuck out there for a couple hours trying to put it together all by themselves. Please also consider signing up to take the lunches to the people concerned after they've been put together. It's a quick, short trip into Santa Monica. Please contact Jackie Weber for more information. Faith in Action, Peace and Social Justice meeting today after the service. This committee puts our UU principles of justice, human rights, and sustainability into action in our local community and beyond. They will be meeting in the Warren Matthews Conference Room at 10. Detailed announcements are published weekly in our email on Thursdays. News is also available at news@uusm.org, or you can find us on our website. Thank you. Yes. Strike that. No meeting. Get out there and make some lunches. See you guys.
Please rise in body or in spirit for our opening.
Or sit if you need to. It's all good. Please join me in the covenant for our church. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To swell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la enseñanza de esta iglesia. Buscar la verdad es su sacramento, y el servicio es la oración. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en la libertad, servir a la humanidad en comunión. Así es como convenimos unos a otros. would like to welcome a special person to do our story for all ages. Karen Shue Patterson has volunteered this morning. Thank you, Karen.
Good morning, friends. So, we are starting up our food donations for the West Side Food Bank once again. So if you have not already done so, and if you have an offering for the West Side Food Bank, we invite you to bring it forward now. Place it in the basket up here. And pre-COVID, when we had kids regularly in the service, this would be the time when we would invite kids to come and sit up here and hear the story with us, but we'll keep the kids safely distanced for now. But we do have our little Yui. Hi, Yui. Hello. Hello. So, Yui can listen to the story too. Okay. So the story for today is called Amelia and Her Super Magical Powers by Gail Svar. This is the story of a young girl named Amelia. Amelia was fascinated by tales of people with superpowers, like Wonder Woman, or magic, like Harry Potter. She yearned to have powers like that so she could help people. Like the boy she often saw sitting all alone at lunch, looking very sad. If I had magic powers, I could make him smile, she said to herself. Or like the little kids who were being picked on in the schoolyard by an older girl. Ooh, superpowers would straighten her out fast, she said. And whenever she walked past the old, run-down park near her house, she imagined how magic powers could fix it up so kids had a place to play. One night, just as Amelia was about to fall asleep, a fairy godmother came into her room. "Hello, Amelia," she said. "I'm here to help you. What have you been wishing for?" "Oh," said Amelia. "Please give me some magic powers so I can make a difference." "Well," said the fairy godmother, "I'm happy to give you some magic, Amelia, but my—" "Oh, thank you, cried Amelia, and with that she fell right to sleep. The next morning when Amelia woke up, she remembered what had happened the night before. She jumped out of bed, eager to get going and test out her new superpowers. As she walked to school, she realized she'd forgotten to ask what she needed to do to release those powers. Say some secret words, give a high sign, or something else. But she decided she'd figure it all out as she went along. That day at lunch, she saw that same sad boy sitting by himself at lunch again. "Let's try my magic," she said, as she wiggled her fingers at him from a distance. Nothing. "Maybe I need to be closer," she thought. So she walked closer to him, and he looked up at her. She couldn't help but give him a friendly smile, and when she did, his face beamed with his own huge smile. "Ha," thought Amelia, "I really do have magic." "Can I join you for lunch?" she asked. "Sure," he said, smiling even bigger. The two of them laughed and talked all during lunchtime. She learned his name was Bobby. He lost his father earlier in the year, and he and his mother had moved here after that. He didn't know anyone and was too shy to go up to kids and talk. Well, Amelia and Bobby became good friends, and Bobby smiled a lot from then on. One day soon after that, Amelia and Bobby were in the playground when they saw Karen bullying two younger kids by the swings. She'd read what to do about bullies, but she had never tried any of it before because she wasn't really sure she could do it. But now, with her superpowers, she was ready. "Come on, Bobby, let's go help those kids." So they walked up to where Karen stood over the two children, and Amelia wiggled her fingers at her and loudly said, "Karen, stop it right now. Come on, Dodie and Lou, come with Bobby and me. You're safe with us." After the four of them had left, Amelia told the two, "If she bothers you again, just turn around and walk away. Act like you don't hear her. Don't show any emotion. And if she keeps trying to hurt you, let Mr. Crenshaw in the office know. I'll go with you if you need me to." They did just as Amelia said, and Karen never bothered those kids again. Well, by now, Amelia was feeling pretty good about her super magic powers. How can I use them to fix up our old park, she wondered. Wiggling her fingers didn't work. She still didn't know any magic words. Maybe if I start working to clean it, something will occur to me. And so she did. She took trash bags to the park and started picking up trash that had been left there. Before long, a couple of friends came by and asked what she was doing. "I'm fixing our park so we can play it in again." That sounded like a great idea to her friends, and they began to help. Soon other kids joined them. They picked up trash, pulled weeds, and cleared out dead brush. Little by little, the park began to look better. When some of the parents saw the improvement, they decided to help. Some mowed the grass, others built picnic tables, and still others convinced the city to buy some new equipment. It was hard work and it took many days, but they got their new park. When it was all done, the whole neighborhood had a picnic in their new park to celebrate it. After the picnic, Amelia fell exhausted into bed. She was just about asleep when the fairy godmother came back. "Oh, I'm so happy to see you," said Amelia. "I want to thank you for giving me all those super magic powers." "But I tried to tell you my wand was broken." "I didn't give you any," said the fairy godmother. "But you must have given me powers," protested Amelia. "How else could I have made Bobby happy, stopped a bully, and given our neighborhood a wonderful park?" The fairy godmother just smiled. "My dear, you did that because you possess 3 powers that you developed yourself: kindness, bravery, and determination. With those 3 things, you are making a difference." And with that, Amelia fell fast asleep. What are your superpowers? We each have unique gifts and qualities to offer as blessings, even if we have some trouble recognizing those in ourselves. Sometimes we struggle, and we need gentle reminders. Please take some time this week to think about the ways you are special. Maybe take some moments to tell someone that you care about some of the ways they are special. And as we all continue to find our place in this world, please remember that you too are loved.
There are many things for which we are grateful. There are many joys and concerns that we share as community and that we hold in our hearts individually. And this is a time for contemplating those things. There are members of our community who are not well, who are permanently disabled and will never be able to join us in the sanctuary. We hold them in our hearts. We hold them in the light. There are people who do come with aches and pains and other travails that perhaps we cannot see, but they come because being here is so meaningful. Being here is energizing. Being here fills us with hope and light, and we hold them in the light. It is the summer solstice. We're about to be experiencing the longest day of sunshine this year. We in Southern California have many of those days. This is an absolutely perfect one. And so during the summer, this will be the first summer that we are freed from many of the restrictions of the pandemic. And so people will be traveling. I'm getting on the plane for the first time in 2.5 years. I'm not exactly happy about that. It's not the plane, it's just being out of my house. And so we hold in the light those people who are traveling, those people who travel without fear, those people who travel and spread their cooties with joy upon everybody else who is quivering behind their masks. And so we hold them all in the light so that we might return home safely, whole and healthy. We are starting GA, General Assembly, this week, and there are those who have traveled to meet together. There are those who will be participating in GA online. We will be joining the national congregation of Unitarian Universalists as we worship together with all the other UUs in this country next Sunday at 9:30, not 10:30. And so we hold those who are planning, those who are participating, those who are presenting, those who are watching, those who are complaining, those who are wondering. We hold all of them in the light. There will be many summer guests. So next Sunday is the last Sunday that Jeremiah will be here, Reverend Jeremiah will be here for the summer. I will be, as an itinerant minister, no, I'm not going anywhere in July. I'm staying home. I am not working in July, so I'll be back in August as well. And so there will be summer guests, and we encourage you to show, and Saunders going to be gone, and we'll be having our wonderful musicians take one Sunday a month to showcase themselves and music that may be familiar, that may be new to us. And so we are looking forward to a wonderful summer and encourage you to show our UUSM hospitality and welcome to those who will be here on the pulpit. The worship associates will be here and will be stepping in and doing a little bit more, because hosting a guest is different than hosting someone who is part of our congregation. So we hold all of them in the light. Joys and sorrows. So on this Father's Day, there are many who are remembering and grieving again for the fathers that they have lost. There are many who are grieving for the fathers that they never had. There are those who are reflecting in wonder and awe at the fathers that they are, or the fathering that they do, as they watch their young ones scamper around the house and do things that drive them absolutely crazy and make them say, well, you got to remember that kid has 2 parents. And so we hold all of them in the light. We hold all of you in the light as we collectively join our energy and our thoughts and our concerns and our joys together, because we are community. So let us sit in silence, remembering, holding, reflecting, responding to who we are as community. This month we are celebrating, we are recognizing the humanists that are in our congregation and in our world. I was having a conversation with some colleagues recently about inclusive language. And in the Christian congregations, inclusive language is remembering not to say God the Father, God He, throughout the services. And I told them, well, in the UU world, inclusive language means remembering that not everyone makes reference to a God, and that when they do, it may not be the God that you are referring to. And so it is important. People said, oh, so it's on a spectrum. It's like those who believe in God, those who are wondering about God, and those who don't believe in God. I said, no, because that spectrum presumes that God exists, and therefore you either believe it or you deny it. But it's not that. It's, I believe this, or I have a different set of beliefs that join us together in our shared values for social justice and the other things that we covenant with together. So I want to pause to remind us of who we are and all that we are. Theologian Howard Thurman says, there is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have, and if you cannot hear it, you will all of your life spend your days on the strings that somebody else pulls. So here's to pulling our own strings. Someone challenged Ernest Hemingway, the author, known for his pithy and parsimonious writing, to write a story in just 6 words. His books, if you've read any of them, are pretty short, but 6 words is very, very short. It was a bar bet, and he rose to the challenge. At least that's the way the story goes. And his response was, baby shoes for sale, never worn. Whoa, there's a story. Sometimes the best way to be noticed is not to say more, not to respond to every single thing that has been said, but to listen, to notice what has and has not been said, and then when asked, to share a few well-chosen words. Now, from that story in Hemingway, we have lots of examples of a few well-chosen words because there's a website, a book, a whole movement that has grown around people writing 6-word stories, 6-word autobiographies. You can find them all over the place. Check the internet, you'll find the books. There are collections of 6-word stories. So at retreats, when there's time for reflection and introspection, I will invite people to write their own 6-word bios. Not 6 descriptive words, 6 words in a line, but a 6-word sentence or 2 that tells a story. Who are you? What makes you special? What truth have you learned about yourself that makes a difference in how you relate to and engage with others? What are your superpowers? My 6-word story is, I was not what they expected. You who know me, who saw me here, I don't know how many, almost 10 years ago now, know that that is true. It's a story in 6 words, and it is an invitation for you to express your curiosity about what I could possibly mean. For me, it is the story of me finding my place in the world, starting with my parents. I was not what they expected. As a girl child in a culture of alpha boys, I was expected to be quiet and docile and domesticated and submissive, and not quite as smart or ambitious or demanding as the boys around me. I was not quite what they expected. Growing up as one of the few Black children in predominantly white environments, I was expected to be poor, uncultured, below average in intelligence, and without any discernible talents. I was way more than they expected. As a minister, people expected me to be reserved and reverent, devout, if not holy, and eager to serve as a parish pastor. No, I said, I will be a consulting minister. That was not at all what they expected. When I was young, people saw this cute, smart kid with a lot of potential, and my early years were spent as one after another person tried to mold me into their version of what they thought I should be, sort of like Pygmalion and Galatea. The problem with Pygmalion's story is that when you breathe life into your creation, it then becomes its own thing, separate and independent from you. One of my life tasks has been recognizing that my name is not Galatea. My name is Kikanza. My persona is not like anyone else's, even if they would be more comfortable if I was. I am me. But it took me half a lifetime to first figure that out and then to get comfortable with the reality of not being like everyone else. The irony is that we are born knowing who we are and how we are supposed to be. You ask any 3-year-old why they are here, who they were made to be, what is their purpose, and they will tell you. The problem is that if what they say doesn't fit our sense of who they ought to be, we pressure them to change. Oh, you don't know. You don't really mean that. It happens again and again throughout our lives. We work to fit in because it is just so painful to be marginalized and excluded. This is a good time for reflecting on who we are. It's Pride Month. People ask of those celebrating, well, why flaunt it? Because people are still persecuted for being queer. It still makes people uncomfortable. It is still a reason for physical violence. And there goes my earring. It is, in our church, it's okay to be Buddhist or Jewish or Muslim. Not so okay to be Christian or to be loud about it, and way not okay to be humanist, although we know it's almost half of the congregation. But we'll never say that directly. Never, ever, ever. You don't have to apologize for being yourself. We teach our children to apologize. We practice forgiving one another in community, and yet we live with secrets and shame and self-recriminations, never able to forgive ourselves. We love giving gifts and sometimes take too much pride in our generosity, but find it difficult to be a gracious receiver. We teach about the uniqueness of all people, and though we know that we have gifts differing from one another, we focus on our flaws and our shortcomings. We apologize for who we are and how we are. We strive to be better, but we never acknowledge that we started out as good. Sometimes it is hardest to find a place for yourself in your own heart. We are filled with self-doubts. We are filled with fear of people learning what frauds we are. We say fake it till you make it for so long, we don't even notice when we have surpassed our own intentions. If you believe in the inherent dignity and worth of every person, then you must find your place. Find the way and the place in the world where you can be your very best self, where you can be not what people think you are, not what people think you ought to be, but what the universe has called you to be. In the movie The Greatest Showman, Keala Settle sings, "This is me." She says, "I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Often we think that it's better to choose love over freedom, to be the people pleaser so more people will love us. But in the end, true love will only come and stay if you are free. Free to be all that you are, free to be all that you are called to be. As UUs, we believe in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning about the world and about ourselves in that world. We are free to find the place in the world where we can be our best selves. Many of us spend our lives trying to be something we're not, pleasing everyone but ourselves, wishing we were more attractive, smarter, more talented, instead of recognizing what we are. Only one of you can be the oldest or the youngest or the smartest or the prettiest one in the room. If that's not you, then you've got to find your place. Be the funniest, be the favorite, be the one who you fill in the blank, but find your place. Because there is a place for you. And if you feel like a fish out of water, maybe you need to swim in a different pond. There's a place for you. There is community for everyone, but every community is not for everyone. So it may take some work to find a place where you fit, to find the place that fits you. But it is important to your dignity and worth to do it. It is part of your search for truth to find your community. What do you need? What do you want? Find your place in it where you can contribute, where you can serve, and then be your wonderful, quirky, imperfect self. Be you, and be it brilliantly.
So, did you mean to drop this in the offertory bag? It might help. That's a lot to take in, huh? Our practice here at UUSM is to dedicate half of our non-pledged Sunday offerings to organizations doing work in the world that advances our Unitarian Universalist principles. The other 50% of the offering is used to support the life of the church. This month, half of our Sunday offering will go to the Transgender Law Center. Your donations will help the Transgender Law Center continue their work in providing resources necessary to advance rights of transgender and gender nonconforming people. Please consider supporting the mission of our church and the Transgender Law Center. Today, you also have the opportunity to give to the Spirit Level Foundation Fund. This year, we received a grant from the Spirit Level Foundation in order to help cover the costs of our Arizona entrance fundraising, our construction project. The foundation will match our fundraising dollar for dollar up to $50,000 to cover these expenses. This project is not only important for the safety of our congregation and our building, but also vital to the rentals that we have hopefully soon to bring in some more money. In order to receive the grant, we will need to match these funds. We hope you will contribute to this critical fund and help us expand the ways we reach and serve the congregation and its communities. There are 4 ways to give: text, website, offertory bags, or mail a check. Using your smartphone, text 844-982-0209 with the donation amount and the code for where the funds will be posted. To make a generous community contribution, use GCC. To make a pledge, PLG. And to make a Spirit Level Foundation contribution, use SLF. You can visit our website to make a donation. One way to access our website is to aim your phone camera at the QR code and on the order of service or up there, and tap the thing that pops up. You don't have to take a picture, and it'll take you directly to our website. And of course, we happily accept checks, and the ushers will be around in a moment with the bags to collect that way. Your offer is deeply appreciated. Thank you for your generosity.
Please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn. This is 1004, Buscaya el amor.
Wonderful service filled with music that is so appropriate and so fits. It's just so wonderful to have a service where all the pieces fit together and all the people fit together. This service is over and our service to the world continues. Serve yourself. Find the love in you. Find the place where you can bloom and blossom and spread love to others. Go now, go in peace, knowing that you are your best self and you already have superpowers. Go use them someplace wonderful.